I call this 12 universal assumptions that you can make about anyone. Now, like shaping influences, there are more than 12 universal assumptions that you can make about anyone, but I want to list 12 just to get you started, and you can add to the list. And so at the top of this graphic, I have 7 billion plus people. These men and women across the top represent every human on the planet. Each one of them have a unique history, a unique life, and a unique narrative. But as you get underneath all of their lives and start moving toward their heart, what you're going to find is that there is a commonality. And that's why I say there's 12 universal assumptions, at least, that you can make about anyone. On the behavioral side, on the top end of our lives, again, there is a uniqueness to our history, our life, our narrative. But when you go underground, under the surface, into the soul of an individual, then that is where we're all the same, because we're all cut from the same Adamic cloth. Let me share with you 5 universal assumptions that you can make about any person in the world. Here they are on the screen: self-reliance, control, comfort, fear, and shame. It doesn't matter who you talk to. When you start asking the right questions, you'll discover some of these things that are active in their lives. Now, some people have matured through some of these things and they don't struggle as much as others, but to varying degrees, this is part of what it means to be in Adam, because Adam was a self-reliant person who tried to control his world, who sought comfort, who struggled with fear, and also shame. And then there's 2 others, which is once you get down in the heart, there will be this great tension between faith and unfaith, or belief and unbelief, trusting and not trusting, relying on ourselves and relying on God, the faith-unfaith dynamic. Lord, I believe, but help my unbelief. And so there's 2 more that make 7, and then let me add 5 more assumptions that you can make about anyone. We all struggle with this idea of suffering, primarily that we don't like it, but all of us are suffering differently, and so you want to explore that assumption with the individual. We all have temptations toward various manifestations of anger, sex and sexuality, self-righteousness, looking down on certain people, fear of man, managed by certain people. These are all commonalities, and it's all part of being Adamic. And once you get underneath the surface of the uniqueness of an individual's life and begin to explore their psyche, their soul, you will find at least these 12 universal assumptions. And again, as you gather these shaping influences and these 12 universal assumptions and become proficient in thinking that way, and then as you appeal to the Spirit of God to give you illumination, as you gather these things together in your mind, it will lead you to the right questions with the person that you're talking to.